Hello soulmates, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'll be teaching you how to cut this beautiful cut together flare top with just 1 yard of material. That's bending on your size though, but with just 1 yard of material you can cut this beautiful cut together flare top, and this is what the outcome looks like on my body. This is what it looks like. It can be styled in two ways. You can just wear it like this, or you can just wear it with a tiny belt just like this. So if this is something you're interested in, if this is something you want to know how to cut, please continue watching and like this video, comment, and most importantly subscribe to the channel. Thank you. So for this top, 1 yard of material is actually enough depending on your size though, but what you have to do is just fold your fabric into four. That is, you fold it into four just as if you want to cut a flare. So the length of the fabric, whatever you have, will be the length of your top. That is why it is advisable you use a material that is like 60 by 60, so that the length, you can determine the length from that side. So when you fold into four, then you kind of measure your shoulder divided by 2 here. Then the next thing to do is to measure your sleeve. So whatsoever you have at this edge, you use it to measure your sleeve. So you know when you are using 1 yard of fabric, so all this length altogether at this side will be like 18 inches. So you just mark whatsoever you have towards this side. If you are using a bigger fabric, just determine the sleeve length, where you want the sleeve to get to. So whatsoever you have all together there, I have 20 and a half there, so I'll just mark it in that manner. So because this length, the length of the top is longer than this side, so my length is like 25 inches, so that is why it is not the same. So I'll just try and connect it to join each other. I don't know if you get. So for this shoulder side it is like 21 inches, while for the length of the blouse it's like 26 inches. So I'll just find a way to connect them so that they can form a, so that I can cut a flare with it. So if you're familiar on how to cut a 360-degree flare, so this will be very easy for you. So the next thing to do now is to add additional 4 inches to your bust measurement. So whatever you have, you measure it like that, the wideness. So that is how you get to this point. So whatever you have will be the wideness, and you just locate this point, you roll it up. So if your bust is 36 and you add 4 inches to it, that's 40. So you measure 10 inches as if you are measuring your shoulder, but you measure 10 inches towards that side. So after measuring 10 inches, just roll it up like that. Then the next thing is to measure your sleeve opening at this side, depending on how wide you want the sleeve opening to be. So that is what you will measure by this side. So for me, I'm using about 12 inches wide for the sleeve opening. So I'm using 12 inches wide for my sleeve opening. Then I will just connect that point down to this other point. And I forgot to tell you that for the length of this place you are connecting the line to is actually your armhole length. It is your armhole length plus 1 inches. So let me cut this cycle out so that I can explain better. So let me explain again so that you can understand. So you see, from your shoulder down to this opening at the sleeve area, it is your armhole measurement plus extra 1.5 inches, while the sleeve opening I use 12. So for the space at this side is just like 1.5 inches. So just cut out 1.5 inches, while the wideness from this chest line area is your bust measurement plus 4 inches. Then you divide it into 4, then you take the measurement. I hope you understand. Please, if you don't understand, let me know in the comment section. So for the neck, I'll be cutting the same neck for the front and back. So I'm using 4 by 4. So that is what I'll be using. So if you want to increase your measurements, you can increase it, but I'm using 4 by 4. So after you are done, the next thing is to open up this. So after opening it up, this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. So we've cut the back and the front together at the same time. So the next thing we'll be doing now is to join the shoulder together. We'll join the shoulder together at this point. Then we'll join this other side too with just ½ inch. We'll go ahead and join. So after joining, this is what I have. So you have to notch this part so that it can turn nicely. So you have to notch it, just notch it a little bit so that it can turn out nicely. So after that, the next thing to do is to hem the neckline. So I'll be using the bias to hem the neckline. So after hemming the neckline, I've went ahead to turn this to the right side and I've ironed it. As you can see what it looks like. As I said earlier, this is not actually my size. This is smaller than my size. So this is what it looks like. So the next thing to do is to hem the lower part. To hem the lower part of this top. To hem the lower part of this top and to hem the sleeve opening too. Then that will be all for this top. So after I was done, this is what I have. As you can see how nice and beautiful it looks like. So this part here will be your wideness, that is your bust measurement with the additional ease allowance. So this is what it looks like, and this is the other one I made, which was my size. And as you can see how it looks, which looks really beautiful. So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.